There was such a rush to capture Jose Mourinho's list of promoted academy players during his maiden Manchester United press conference someone spilt a glass of water over the sheet. "I knew that was coming," Mourinho smiled. "You know how many young players I promote to the first team from academies 49. Do you want to know who they are? I can give you that." Mourinho may require another sheet of A4 following his first 18 months with United. Axel Tuansby, Joel Pereira, Scott McTominay, Josh Harrop, Dimitri Mitchell and Angel Gomes are the 6 academy graduates to make debuts under the Portuguese, and McTominay is an unlikely success story. An undistinguished utility player at reserve level, McTominay has defied some of his former teammates to become a fixture in United matchday squads following his first-team promotion in September. The 21-year-old has made all but one of United's Cup and European squads and suffered just 10 omissions in the Premier League, which is some going for the 6th-choice central midfielder. Jose Mourinho needs to change his mind over problem positions. Sometimes the stars align. McTominay's former reserves captain Sean Goss is arguably a more gifted midfielder but joined Queen's Park Rangers for an initial £500,000 last year, age 21, aware first-team chances would be limited, and a measly 6 appearances later he is on loan at Rangers. Had he stayed, he would have likely made a United debut towards the end of the campaign and maybe earned a new contract. Sometimes you are in the right place at the wrong time. McTominay inked fresh terms in October and things continue to fall into place. Marouane Fellaini is injured again. Andreas Pereira has also succumbed to injury and not playing as a midfielder for Valencia, and nor is Timothy Fosu-Mensah on loan at Crystal Palace. 2 of McTominay's rivals, Ander Herrera and Nemanja Matic, are at the wrong end of their 20s. Jose Mourinho makes shock transfer admission. Mourinho gushed about McTominay on Saturday, hailing him as fundamental, his passing genius, and described the Lancastrian's chance as beautiful. "I prefer to look at it in the beautiful way of a little kid that arrived here with his mum at 9 years old for the first training session," Mourinho said of Paul Pogba's demotion. 10 or 11 years later the kid is playing in a Manchester United shirt in an important match in the Premier League at home at Old Trafford, so I prefer to look at that perspective. Paul Pogba did something Jose Mourinho loved versus Huddersfield. McTominay grew 10 inches in 18 months, and that growth spurt has imbued him with greater courage, and he needed it after he was poleaxed by Terence Congolo. His passing was risk-aversive, though, and silk is needed more than steel against reticent relegation fighter like Huddersfield. Mourinho can be forgiven for eulogizing a local talent on the day Old Trafford fell silent as the 60th anniversary of the Munich anniversary loomed. He is not fielding concerned questions about nurturing homegrown youngsters, and it was only last week that Mourinho attended the under-23's Old Trafford defeat to Derby, having granted 17-year-old Angel Gomes a crowd-pleasing cameo at Yeovil 3 days earlier. McTominay was poleaxed by Congolo. Dropping an £89 million midfielder for an academy player came in a week where Pep Guardiola considered a £60 million offer for Leicester's Riyad Mahrez on the penultimate day of the winter transfer window. The signal it sent to City's superb youngsters was a demoralizing one. Guardiola named 6 substitutes at Burnley when the maximum is 7, despite spending over £400 million in 18 months. The suggestion was he did not want to tire any of the elite development squad players who lost to Swansea on Friday evening. Roger Federer would admire such topspin. Justin Kluivert speaks out on United transfer rumors. City's EDS played at the City Football Academy, rather than 228 miles away in South Wales, and Joel Latibeaudiere and the like would have doubtless walked from there to Turf Moor just to rub shoulders with Aymeric Laporte and Yaya Touré. It should not go unnoticed Guardiola gave academy players Brahim Diaz and Tosin Adarabioyo bench berths while Phil Foden is still injured and would have earned the 7th slot if fit. Ultimately, City have ploughed millions into developing maybe the best football club academy in Britain and lack managers with the nerve to unearth the next Paul Lake. Andreas Pereira receives apology from Barcelona player during the United Academy's period in disarray. Local products like Jesse Lingard and Marcus Rashford still emerged to the fore, and the youth team recently usurped City. Kieran McKenna's under-18s are top of their league, and the third-round Youth Cup ejections are not a fair reflection of academy head Nicky Butt's overhaul over the last 2 years. It was less than 2 years ago that Adnan Januzaj played for United under-21s at Chelsea on Friday night, before he travelled to Norwich to warm the bench for the 12.30 kickoff the following day. No wonder Gary Neville branded Guardiola's decision a joke. United player allowed Alexis Sanchez to take penalty, bring a kid to travel with the team, help the kit man and put him on the bench to have the experience of being in a Premier League game, he said. Give someone a boost at the club. Neville, Butt and David Beckham travelled to hell and back Galatasaray with the United squad in 1993, and the experience was more invaluable than debut cameos against Torpedo Moscow, Oldham and Brighton. From Lytham to London, Mourinho is recognising the youth on-comers in the academy building at Carrington. Joe Riley, Matty Willock, Zach Durnley, Dean Henderson, Kieran O'Hara, Matthew Olausand, Roshan Williams, Callum Grabban and Joshua Bahoui have all trained with the United first team or made matchday squads within a year. Mourinho's list may get longer. Get all the latest Manchester United news first with our new app. Download it here now.